What is up, risk takers? Welcome to the Kill Pete strategy. I am Pete. I am a top player playing Risk Global Domination on PC. I have a daily release schedule on YouTube. I do a fixed game every Friday. I do the Waiting on Your Best Behavior podcast on Wednesdays, and every other day I do whatever I feel like. If you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and come along the ride with me on today's episode of Waiting on Your Best Behavior. I am so proud to be able to finally get to shoot a show with the one and only top ranked player, friend of mine, interesting fellow, Amerigo Wadhwa. How are you?
I'm very happy to be on a show with you.
Yeah, man. Likewise. It's such a privilege. You've been sitting in this server ever since what? It was you and Parlox in the 1v1 tournament. I was like, I gotta get this guy on the show. So thank you. Thank you for finding the time for me.
Yeah, like I was waiting for you to fight harder, but in the end,
Yeah,
you didn't actually have to do much.
people like it when I squirm, huh? So tell everybody about yourself. You are now one of the most recent top ranked players. Can we get an age, approximate age?
Yeah, I'm 37.
Okay, you're younger than me.
Yeah.
And you fly the flag of Germany.
Yeah, I used to fly the funny flag of Coco Island, but now it's like where I live, Berlin, Germany.
Cool. And how is it over there?
I think it's like it's one of the best countries in the world to live. Like there are so many good things about here, and whereas light there's shadow, but overall I love to, like, I checked out a lot of places, and Germany is still solidly the number one spot for actually living there.
I recall you once telling me that it was the best city in the world or something, Berlin?
Yeah, like I think there are maybe 5 to 10 really amazing, like if you're into cities, like world cities. Berlin is one of them, and it's by far the cheapest, which has a lot of benefits. Like you don't have to work as much to enjoy the city, and it brings a very interesting set of people and a lot of freedom. So, like if you're in a city like New York or San Francisco or London or Paris, which are amazing in their own right, but you have to get like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 a month just to survive, then you exclude a huge chunk of very interesting people. So in Berlin you can live off 1,000. And we have like good social benefits. So basically anyone who wants to live in Berlin can do that.
Is the affordability something that was engineered in? Like, how is it the case? Because I wouldn't have assumed, if you hadn't just told me that Berlin was a very affordable, livable city, that would be true. So why?
So mostly because of the Second World War and the aftermath. Like Berlin used to have almost 5 million people living here. Now it's 3.7, 3.8.
Okay.
Due to the war, and then the Berlin Wall came, and people were fleeing Berlin because it's not fun to live in a city surrounded by a wall where you get shot if you try to cross it.
Doesn't sound like fun.
And so like West Germany was way better off economically. So people from East Berlin and the surrounding areas, if they could, like they moved to West Germany. All the companies moved to West Germany. And then the people from West Berlin, they were allowed to move wherever, and they didn't want to live like on an island surrounded by the enemy. So a lot of them moved out. And that's only 30 years ago. So it takes time to reverse that. So it's a huge city, lots of space, and like it takes to fill that city up again. Like it used to be, like it starts to get there, but like I think it's the only example where the capital, like of like major countries, like where the capital is not the most expensive place to live.
What is the most expensive place?
I think it's between Munich Hamburg and Düsseldorf, like probably Munich.
Okay. The south of Germany.
Yeah, like Bavaria as a state is well off, and then Munich is like their epicenter, and then Hamburg is in the north, which is like a quite well off city, and Düsseldorf is in West Germany, around Cologne, Dortmund, Essen.
It's very interesting how that would have evolved. Sure. Like Toronto is the first or second most expensive city in Canada. And I guess it's not technically the capital, but we are the largest city. So
Yeah.
we are like the center of finance and whatnot. And it's not livable by any means. Like it was a stretch for me to purchase a home like a decade ago when I did. So people 10 years younger than me now are pretty much priced out unless, you know, they have some kind of injection of funds from the previous generation.
Yeah.
Do you, I mean, talking about systems design as being one of the things that you're interested, this might segue nicely, but do you suppose that there would be a way to intentionally design livability into a city, or is it just kind of an accident of the way the story of the German Reconstruction happened?
Yeah, like my intuition is it's an accident, and like if there are inefficiencies over time, they will get efficient, right? So Berlin gets like the price increase in Berlin is higher than in any other city because it's like the quality of life in many regards, or like a huge chunk of people, no matter if you're into science or arts or politics or entertainment or whatever, like this is like the place to be.
Mm-hmm.
So it won't be like this much longer, maybe 5 years, maybe 15 years. Like there has to be a reason for that inefficiency. Like for instance, my favorite city in the world is Belgrade, like the only city that was able to truly excite me after I've stayed in Berlin for a year or two.
Okay.
And
And why? What is
because
it? What is it about the Serbs?
uh, many things. Like I would say like to finish the first point,
Sure.
uh, like it has like qualities that make it a little harder to appreciate. Like the city itself, like it's not inside of the EU, so you need to have a passport to get there. Like the connections to get to Belgrade are not like for most Europeans or Americans not as easy as like Berlin, Paris, London, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have much like signature beauty when it comes to cityscape. Like you can't point to like if you go to Belgrade, you have to check this out. Like they were bombed to the ground 3 times in the past 100 years.
Okay.
But yeah, like everything that makes life enjoyable can be found in Belgrade to the highest degree. And yeah,
Well, I have never been to Serbia, but on your recommendation, I would put that at the top of the list then.
yeah, like from what I know about you, it would be impossible that you don't enjoy yourself.
I can enjoy myself almost anywhere, man. My favorite
Yeah,
city I've ever been was Singapore because it's so hot. And I love that. I love just sweating buckets. I know that's
yeah.
not for everybody.
I would say I loved the like I left Singapore, which I would say as well doesn't have like the best um, reputation for travelers.
Okay.
I think like Bangkok or Hong Kong or Tokyo get much more love. I think Singapore is the best city for travelers in Southeast Asia.
See, you're a man of class. I knew it. I knew it right away. I've been to Tokyo, but I could only afford 2 nights. And I'm sure if you have a ton of money, then that changes the game up. But the Japanese money at the time was, I think, 2.5x my buying power. So whereas Singapore was a bit more reasonable. I think it was a bit more expensive than the Canadian dollar, but not much.
Yeah, so like what I always enjoy is a mix of things,
Sure.
and like that's a point I didn't mention about Belgrade is it's the only place that I found so far that combines on a high level the good qualities of Eastern Germany and the good qualities of Western Germany. Like usually you have to choose between like friendly, open-minded, caring, warm people with hospitality, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that the train comes in time, and that like things work smoothly and reliable, right? It seems to be like two different kind of approaches to life. Like, I just want to enjoy it and have a good time, or I want to work and progress and focus.
Well, it's a shame.
So
It's a shame that those things would be mutually exclusive, right?
yeah, like I'm very fascinated by people and cultures who can combine both things.
Sure.
Like I was, like I think I mentioned it to you. Like the first, like I was born and spent the first 5 years in Transylvania, so I have a connection to Eastern Europe as well. And like like Serbia and to some extent the rest of Yugoslavia feels like they have downsides as well, of course, if you want to talk about downsides. But overall, I haven't seen a place where people are that competent and that loving at the same time.
So you grew up in, sort of Transylvania's in Romania.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you grew up in Romania. You moved to Germany at some point.
Yeah, like in Romania, there's a German minority that lives there since the Crusades.
Okay.
So they built, like the region is called, in German, it's called Seven Towers because they built these church towers for protection against all the invasions that happened in the last 1,000 years. So, and at the end of the Cold War, like all the Germans from Russia, Poland, Czech Republic, Hungary, Romania, they were basically paid for to return to Germany, and they gladly did because there was so much more opportunity and less problems in West Germany than there was in the Eastern Bloc.
So was it you who made the decision to move, or did you move with your family?
Like if I did the decision, it was subconsciously because I
Okay.
was 5 years old, right?
Okay. You were a young child. Got it. Got it. Well, no, I'm asking all this because I've lived in the same city I grew up in, and I've moved once, essentially, right, from the home that I grew up in with my folks to the place I live in now. So I still own all of my possessions. I've never had to downsize, never had to get rid of anything, which is there's an upside and a downside to that, right? The upside is I've had an extremely safe and stable life, and the downside is maybe I'm missing out on some adventure. So at some point, I would be very interested to see where that leads, but that takes a certain amount of courage as well, right?
Uh, yeah, like I can offer you to be your adventure consultant. Like probably expands this scope of the podcast, but I think I'm quite good at finding out what makes people really happy and how they can find.
I would assume so. You claim to be an expert at psychology, so, and that wouldn't surprise me, right? I do see this game that we play as, at its ultimate, the psychological depth is often the key to victory.
Yeah,
Knowing
like
people.
I don't think I have a strong like natural sensitivity to understand people's psychology, but oftentimes when you're weak in something, you make up for it in effort. And so I learned piece by piece. And so yeah, when it comes to intuition, I think I'm uh, like average at best. But when it comes to like knowledge, experience, uh, yeah, I think I know what I'm talking about.
But don't we all? Don't we all like to think we know what we're talking about, huh?
Yeah, like
Oh.
I try to
Ah.
oh, there you are.
There I
Okay.
am. How do you?
Natural enemies.
No, 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 no. I wouldn't go
I
that
mean, we
far.
have the benefit of the podcast. I can see RG2 and Frail are listening in, but no collusion, of course. But let's kill them.
Oh yeah, is that how you want to do it? I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna go ahead, and I'm gonna do this move, and assume that we never need to worry about that again.
Yeah, like since you've introduced the good neighbor theory, I think that's a cornerstone of how I play free for all.
Right. But I'm sure you came to it on your own, right? I was just mostly trying to popularize it.
Yeah, like as I told you, I for my first, I don't know, 500-600 games, I only played 1v1s. Like I've never played free for all until my first game was with you.
We
So
played your first free for all game.
yeah,
How did it go?
as expected, poorly. Like I fucked something up, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, like when you know the basics of the game, you can learn. Like no matter if you come from free for all and you start 1v1 or the other way around, whatever is added, you can learn quickly.
Well, I think if you're good at 1v1, you're at least good at the mechanics of the game.
Yeah, like at that time, I was only good at one thing, um, which was classic fixed with bots. Like, that was the only type of game I played.
That was your niche.
Yeah, like I felt naturally drawn to it. Like I just like it was my first game, and my 500 game was the same settings. Like I just downloaded the app. I felt called to it, and I played nothing else.
Okay, I gotta know what made you download the app in the first place then.
Uh, like I like strategy games,
Mm-hmm.
and like, I played Risk in my childhood. I think 2 or 3 times against my brother, and as you know, Risk is very emotional. Like people um, can get easily frustrated, and I distinctly remember how he hated that I won. I think every game. Like my memory might betray me, but like as an older brother, after 2 or 3 games, he said, "I will never play this shitty game anymore." and
Yep.
and like same with my girlfriend. I wanted to show it to her once. We played once, and I've never seen her that angry in like 4 years of relationship.
Hmm.
And so yeah, like I played it like the app 1 year ago. I downloaded it and I just wanted to do, I think, a quick game. And so I played 1v1 with bots in Classic. And I think I got Premium only when I was already in the top 50, top 40.
That was my next question: is how quickly did you kind of teach yourself how to be good at the game, or were you always kind of like I'm from the limited amount that I know from you, you're a very logical, thoughtful guy, right? You think very deeply. So were you just seem like very naturally inclined to be good at this?
Yeah, you would be surprised
Okay.
if you
Okay. Fair enough.
saw glimpses. Like I think yeah, part of me definitely is very calculated, but I have an uncalculated side, and with risk, I just played for fun. Like I mostly played while I worked. Like I did an online job project that only required half of my attention, so I just played risk and like fixed with odds is perfect because you have so much time of doing nothing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had some natural talent, I guess, for risk. But I distinctly remember when I played my first Grandmaster and what it was like to see the speed of attack and like the easiness of my loss. And I think a lot of people talk down about noob grinding because like whoever is only like 5, 10, 15 hours in the game has no chance against the Grandmaster unless he has the dice of the century. And like for me, when it happened to me when I was noob, I got fascinated. Like I started Googling like how do you attack faster, how to and try to get on that level. So I think everyone has the option to react in different ways to the same thing. So I think as much as people get frustrated by having no chance to win, people can get fascinated by it just as well.
Yeah, but you gotta see yourself as the extreme minority there.
Yeah, but like I think it's fair. Like you should do things that truly like capture your curiosity. And I think when it comes to risk for you and for me, a lot of factors come together to make it interesting to us. And we react in a certain way to difficult situations or painful situations. And people who don't, they should find something where they have more natural inclination to enjoy it.
Well, what is it? Such an interesting question for me. What is it about the game that keeps you captivated? Why? Where's the fun for you?
I think it's a mix of factor that makes like a beautiful recipe. Like one part of it is strategy. Another part is geography. Like just looking at maps already makes me happy.
Agreed. I love maps. Absolutely.
Then psychology, like to understand like how different people, like on the highest level, on the medium level, on the beginner level, like how they will approach the situation and if you predict them correctly or not. And like winning is a lot of fun. And you know, in this case, winning comes easy most of the time. And then ranking was what like really took me in, right? In the beginning, like to see the number on the screen get smaller and smaller, and figure out like, can I make top 1,000? Can I make top 100? Can I make, and so on. And yeah, it's like, yeah, like I try to play a lot of games, and this is just the one that hits all the spots.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how that worked out for me. I would never have expected to fall in love with a video game because I had really, really, really tried to avoid it for so long. But then circumstances were such that there was really nothing else to do, and okay, I guess I'm better at this than I thought I was, and then how good? Well, turns out reasonably good. But I never would have known that that was true if not for just falling into it.
Yeah, and like it shows, like for you, like I think you are much more connected to the like group psychology part, like that before you discovered the game, you already loved like being around the board game or being around magic cards with a bunch of people and understanding like group behavior?
Free-for-all multiplayer. So the type of Magic I play is typically played in 4-player groups, but every man for himself. So I had already spent a decade playing a free-for-all multiplayer game, couple of times a week. So the psychological aspect of that is, it's essentially an infinite regress. It's like, if I do that, then they know I want to do that, then they want to do this, and so on and so on. You know what I'm saying? And that, the decision tree that comes out of that is infinitely deep, but not the infinity isn't always relevant. And everyone's personal style comes into play at some point. Like, my style, and I'm sure from what you know of me, you could see how this rings true. My style is, at some point I just say fuck it and I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. But the question is, how do I reach that point? Can my opponent read me to the place where they know I've turned out, or I've turned off, and I'm just like, all right, now I'm just gonna pump all my troops into you. And I do that with Magic too, and my friends kind of know me for that. So if you set up a condition where everyone expects that you're going to suicide, how do you subvert that expectation, and when? And how do you do it to your benefit? Like, Phil was the first one to notice this. He was like, I think Pete's doing something a little bit sneakier. I think Pete is doing a... how did he put it? Like, I'm playing the long game. I'm not necessarily just worried about winning this game. Not worried about just winning this battle, right? I'm interested in winning the war. So I take a longer view of the game as not just being this individual iteration, but also, how do I incept my opponents with the expectation that, wow, this man's a dangerous, crazy person, I better not hit him, which is kind of the inverse of good neighbor theory, right? Good neighbor at the barrel of a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gunboat diplomacy. We'll call it that. Do you look at... Do you find there to be a nice variety of style between top players? Because that's one thing that struck me, is the variability. There's a lot of difference. Like, so you're a member of a fairly exclusive club. How many active players have reached number 1, as far as you know?
Like, how would you define active?
Like, currently active, currently playing in the community.
All right. Then let's call it 7.
Yeah, something like that. But even amongst those 7 people, there's quite a variety of style in their game, don't you know? Or do you not agree?
Like, between those 7, when it comes to the task of like putting together a 200 win streak, they are quite similar in their approach, because if you stray away from that approach, you will not make it. Like I think for, let's say, free for all V2, there are different paths to be successful, and like some people are very intuitive, some people are very aggressive, some people are passive. Like, there's a huge disparity of approaches. When it comes to ranked play, like, maybe the personalities are different, but the play style to get there is exactly the same for those 7 players.
So, what I'm missing is, I'm not careful enough.
Yeah, like, I'm not looking over your shoulder while you do it.
Sure.
Like, I would say that you are maybe the best player in the world when it comes to free for all, if not the best, top 5.
Thank you.
Because-
I would consider myself in an exclusive club, but maybe not top 5. I'll take the compliment, though.
And yeah, like that's where natural inclination comes into play. Like you enjoy every part of it. Like even if you lose, you enjoy how you uh, maybe learn a little bit to be better next time. Uh, Even when people suicide, you try to figure out how to make people suicide less into you and more into others. Uh, and your brain doesn't go naturally to 1v1. So it will be harder for you to achieve that level. And I think carefulness is one part of it. I don't think it's like the whole picture for you. Why it would be harder for you than for like the 7 people to get there?
I don't think it's harder for me. I think it's the same level of difficulty. It's I don't have the kind of natural skill maybe that you or Spike or Zareki would have on a, right? You look at a map and you're able to just see the pattern, and or maybe it's some combination of the amount of work required to do so. Like it's a lot of reps too that you have to put in.
Like I think like one thing that comes to mind is like we talked like before privately, how I tried like in real life I love to avoid or not avoid, like I try to minimize potentially painful situations,
Okay.
and you embrace them way more, and you invite to have like some margin of error, like when and like I approach 1v1 playing the same like I approach life, like how do I minimize the option of failure as much as possible, and that way I get to a 100% win rate in 1v1.
Okay. So maybe I'm prioritizing something slightly different. Maybe I'm prioritizing learning. I see
Yeah, like
I see the failure point as the opportunity for growth.
yeah, like you, as you pointed out, there are different playstyles, especially when it comes to free for all. You're very intuitive,
Okay.
and intuitive only gets you that far in 1v1, like both parts of the game, like the do I play against and how do I play against them.
Say more. When you're done your turn, of course. We got big matches coming in.
Like this is the perfect setting for
It
the
is.
conversation.
It is. I love it. I love it because it requires what, a 10, maybe 10% of your attention, 10% of the time.
Yeah. So, I think it's not fun for you to be very analytical all the time,
Okay.
and to be able to have like a 99 plus win rate in 1v1, you have to be able to do that.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't actually find that to be fun. I find a little bit of it fun, but too much of it, not so much.
Like people, like the main complaint about the current system is
Oh.
that
Oh, okay.
like it,
I didn't expect that. Oh, damn it. Okay, there's no safe place for me there. Fuck. Okay, fine.
we actually forgot to put the bot in, right?
No,
It was
this we're not doing the tournament settings because this is Prague, so might as well just let another person play.
Alright. So, where were we?
Talk about the intuition versus analytical mind.
Yeah, like I wanted to like give you a specific.
Oh, ho, 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 ho! We got our kill. Wow, RJ takes him. Sorry, please. I don't mean to interrupt you. Please
Right.
go right ahead.
Yeah, like I forgot like the point of yeah, right, that a lot of people complain like it takes like so much time to become top 10 or number one in the world, and like I disagree wholeheartedly. Like objectively, it's 50 hours of gameplay. Like if I start a new account now, I can become world number one with 50 hours of playtime. Maybe another, it depends how strong I filter, maybe another 50 hours of wait time.
Yeah.
And that's like a small fraction for most dedicated players of their playtime, but to them it feels painful to wait for the right opponent, or to spend, like, let's say out of these 40, 50 hours playtime, 30 of those are boring. But to me, like, the whole process was interesting and fascinating from the first to the last game. And that's not the case for most people.
You don't find noob grinding boring?
No, I find it exhilarating. Like that, I really loved it. Like it's yeah, like I enjoyed the process.
Wouldn't you love it more if your opponents were good?
Like I did that, of course, as well, and I enjoy that too.
Okay. So it's not mutually exclusive.
No. Like same as like you play 1v1, 2v2, free for all tournaments, ranked. Like the game has many facets, and like it's a different kind of challenge if you have to never lose in a game that is 50% luck, or if you have to increase your win percentage against a highly capable opponent.
Yep. Totally. Very different. Okay, so I find noob grinding boring because I don't, I guess, care enough to ensure that I'm not playing a sniper. So every once in a while I might get sniped. But I kind of see that as not a structural flaw. I kind of see that as regression to the mean. It is inevitable that I will play somebody who will snipe me. And good on them. If they get me, right, then they've kind of justified their point that the ranking system is bullshit and maybe I'm not as good as I think I am, or I'm not as good as my rank would say I am. You know what I'm saying? And everyone has a different reason for why they want to rank up on that leaderboard and why they want to be at the top or close to the top. And as much as I would love to be a top ranked player and be able to say that I'm a top ranked player, I think I know in my heart of hearts that it's kind of a sham, and I'm not proving anything really. I'm a lot more proud of my highest free-for-all rank than my 1v1 rank. I don't know what that says to you, but
yeah, like I think a lot of people would disagree with me, and like that's part of the fascination of the community, like how people value and see things differently. I think number one in the world is by far the most meaningful accomplishment and probably the hardest.
certainly.
Like, and yeah, like I think like tournaments have in the eyes of most people probably more prestige to win it, but it's way easier to get lucky in that regard than getting lucky to like become number one or number 10 or whatever.
Oh yeah, to win it. Yeah, I will fully concede that point 100 times over. That much of my tournament successes and failures are luck based.
Yeah, like when you look at the tournaments, at least the ones I paid attention to, uh, almost never the best person, not the best person, the best player wins it. Like I can think of one, maybe two exceptions in the last year. So like it's always excellent people who win,
Yep.
but like for the very best, win his style of tournament is incredibly rare.
So I think I agree, but I want you to define what you mean when you say best there.
Um,
Like the
high,
player over a lot of iterations, they would win, more times than anyone else.
yeah, like when we talk about tournaments, 1v1 or GM or like free for all, um, which player has the highest win rate against excellent players in his format? And like that player has statistically the highest chance to win that tournament, but it almost never happens.
Right. So what does that tell you?
Uh, that it's a game that has a big factor of luck, and you can't, like especially in free for all, it's even harder because when people know you're good, they will play more carefully
Oh yeah.
or attack you more.
Or play with that in
Uh,
mind, yeah.
so it's
Definitely.
super hard. Like I think in free for all, like in the final, like the best player in that tournament, like or not even the best player, like player with the highest points so far, who makes it to the final. I'm not sure if he has ever won it because people are extra careful around that person.
Right. Yeah, I think I agree completely.
So comparing that to um, like playing ranked, I would say luck plays almost no role. Like you can have a lucky win, lucky loss, but, unlucky loss. But if you have an unlucky loss, if it doesn't frustrate you, if you enjoy the process of playing ranked, it will actually make you stronger because you learn something, you play more games, and you become better at it. So, and that's not the case for tournaments. In tournaments, it's like if you have a bad spawn, or somebody deciding it's your turn to get suicided in, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, it just happens. Hi, Reg. Are you okay? Are you upset that RJ keeps slamming into me? I know, I'm upset too. RJ's like dummy smacks. Not yet, buddy. You'll get it. You'll get yours. Don't you worry. We have RJ and Frail in VC listening in, but as yet they could attest that there is no collusion going on between Amerigo and I. Did you happen to read the VC guidelines I posted in the GM server?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think?
Um, I don't remember clearly everything that was in it. I just remember the feeling of like, yeah, makes sense.
Good, good. I tried for it to be comprehensive. Um, Basically, I'll just share for the audience here is that I want to try and replicate the experience that I've had of playing free for all in all of my iterations in person. I think a lot of the fun for me is in the interaction, in the what does my opponent want, what do I want, how do I give it to them, and I think that the anti-collusion rules in the tournament have led to an environment where alts are considered normal, so there's a culture of, hidden identity and sniping in this community that I think is kind of subtly toxic. And obviously the incentives of the ranking system being what they are. I think it would be a lot more preferable for me to see a community where we all understand that there is a reputational cost to your actions over time, and people think a little bit more carefully about what they say publicly, and maybe, I know this is a big stretch, but maybe just be a little bit more kind and considerate to other people. Is that too much to ask for?
Yeah, like I think like there will be basically the rules for the upcoming GM tourney, right?
Yeah, that's what it's been added into the. I was basically writing the rules, so
Yeah, like
because I'm the figurehead owner of that server, even though we know Parlox is pulling my strings there.
yeah, yeah. Like I think that's part of the beauty of the community. Like free for all is very different to 1v1. I think the GM tourney is the most fun and most interesting. Like either like in the first iteration as well as the second. So I'm looking forward to starting a tournament again. And yeah, like people can like I encourage people to try different stuff. Like for me, it took a long time to branch out because I naturally felt drawn to 1v1.
Okay.
And but I would say now 2v2 is the most fun out of the game.
Yeah, because it's the hardest. It's like nothing touches that in terms of difficulty.
Yeah. Like I'm not sure. Like I actually haven't never played 3v3. That should be even more complex.
Yeah, fair enough. I think 3v3 comes down to if there's like a strong leader who's calling the shots, and the other two people are good at understanding the instructions.
Yeah, or even better if there's a synergy between skills between the team, right? That, I think no one player is the very best at all aspects that make good 3v3 or even 2v2 team. Like
I got a good feeling about your game. I think you're in a great sort of out of the way position. You don't upset anybody. You just hang out. Just get your card. It's going to be good for Amerigo off in the corner.
the secret
Yeah,
to
it's
frog
good.
caps.
Is that just don't piss off anybody?
Yeah, and be outside the region where the fights usually tend to happen,
Yeah.
and like have a continent that's easy to defend. Like if someone, cuts out or tries to go against you.
Serves me right for being a greedy guy. I always get punished.
Looking good so far.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I should get the Canaric Islands.
Well, open up my cap and you'll find out. You'll find out what you'd love to know. I double dare you.
I mean, I could get half of the Canaric Islands so people know that someone,
Yeah, you can just fuck us both
Oh.
over. That seems like a win-win. I wanted to ask you, this might seem a little bit off topic, but I'm just genuinely curious to know how you see it. So I tend to underestimate, I think, my reach in this community. And you always, every time we've interacted, or even in the most recent post you made when you reached number one about, you mentioned me a couple times, and it's just like, my influence is felt, I guess. Is like, what do I offer? Why do people like, in your opinion, why do you think people like my show?
You want to hear from me what makes Pete great?
I want to hear what you like. Specific, not what I wouldn't presume anyone to say what makes me great. I want to hear what I offer you as a viewer.
Okay, like I will take a stab at it. Like I haven't thought much, but I think yeah, like it's a mix of things. Like it's not because this one thing, like because you're stunningly beautiful and people can take their eyes off of you.
Oh my god!
So
just what I wanted to hear too.
So one thing is you deeply enjoy the game, and enjoyment is infectious. Like if you watch some, like it doesn't matter if they are into like small scale knitting or I don't know, like some obscure thing. If some person is deeply into it, it radiates a certain fascination. Like probably you have to watch the documentary like Jiro's Dream of Sushi, and you are not even into sushi, but you can't not look at how dedicated he is to making sushi, or like whatever Formula One, or whatever like topic you're not interested in. I'm sure you talked to a fascinating person or saw a fascinating documentary about it. So that's the case for you, and then your audience is people who not only experience this fascination, but they are actually into Risk.
So they share the infection.
And then your content is actually high quality. Like you have different interesting formats. You upload daily. You're interesting to watch when it comes to gameplay, when it comes to banter, when it comes to philosophical discussion. Like there's no one that does that for Risk, and like you like I think it's interesting. You use your real name, you use your real face, and your real voice. So it's way easier to connect to that than just like gameplay with a computer voice as a comparison. Like I think you're easy to like when it comes to how you interact with people in Discord, how you interact with people on your stream. I think your voice is easy to listen to. Like you said something like you find that strange, but like you have a
yeah, I think I sound like a nerd.
yeah, like I think I mean this is a game for nerds, so
sure, we fit right in.
That's a feature.
Yeah, it's a feature.
And like you, yeah, like I think it's easy for you to connect to people, like relate to. As we talked about, there are different types of characters drawn to the game, and I think you can connect to almost all of them, and find something interesting to talk about, or have a game with them, and yeah. I mean, that's like the top 10 reasons.
Part of the nature of my question was I have been speaking to Phil about his show. And I don't know how much Phil you watch on Twitch or YouTube, but I have always been a really, really big fan of his. I love what he does. I love the level that Phil operates on. And I'm consistently surprised at how I feel he gets underappreciated by the larger audience. So part of this is I would like to broadcast Phil's show. I would like to advertise Phil's show and say, if you don't already follow Risky Phil on Twitch and YouTube, go check him out because I am such a fan. But also I kind of wanted to give him my honest thoughts about what he could do to reach a larger audience, what people like, what he likes. So
like the question is, I think in my mind. Sorry for interrupting,
No
but
problem.
like what he actually wants, right? If let's say risk will hit it big, and we uh, have like 10 times the players, and like the video creators will get invited to some e-sports conference. Does he want to be like one of the famous figureheads of it, and or just does he just want to have fun and upload a video once a week? So like what he wants would be the more, and like what he's naturally good at, like, because I think what I mentioned about what makes you appealing is nothing you force yourself
No,
to. It's
absolutely
just
not.
it's naturally who you are.
Yes.
And um,
Authenticity
so
is resonant. This is a theme I like to dwell on. If there is a secret sauce, it is that the authentic person resonates with an audience, and people, I think, on some level know when you're putting on an act, and they don't like it.
yeah,
So
so it's
I'm not selling you shit, right? I'm fucking playing this game. I'm loving this. I'm loving this show, right? I get the opportunity to talk to brilliant people, yourself included, and it's such a privilege that not only do I get to do this, but other people actually like and want to consume it. It consistently boggles my mind.
so I haven't consumed much of Phil, so I will pose the question to you that you wanted to know from me, like what makes his content interesting to you?
Sure. I like Phil the Man. And I liked Phil the Man from the very first second I experienced him. I was like, oh, I like this guy. You know, this guy could be my friend. This guy could be someone who I could have interesting conversations with. For me, a big, important piece of anyone's puzzle as far as whether or not I like you or well, first of all, I like almost everyone. I would say there's maybe 15% of people I meet that I dislike. So I like far more people than I dislike, but if I really like you, one of the big things for me is kindness. One of the big things for me is intelligence. And Phil radiates both in spades. So I like the angle of approach. Like I just get the vibe from him that he's a really chill, decent guy, really smart, thoughtful, depth. All right, it hits a lot of notes for me. So that's why, in brief.
So it's only about him as a person. There's nothing like special about the content that you like.
Well, I mean, just touching on what you were, those two things are one and the same, right? When you're consuming content from an individual person sitting in their own room talking to a screen, it's very much about the person. So what he does is he plays Risk and he talks about his mind very similar to what I do. And the vibe is different and the thoughts are different and we generally overlap and agree, but in some places we don't. And that's even more interesting because there's the leading edge threshold for learning and growth. And you touched on exactly what I was trying to tell him. It's like, well, if you wanted, quote, advice for your show, the most important thing you need to figure out is what do you want to do? What direction are you trying to go? And then do it intentionally. Because I've been very intentional about this the whole time. I was like, okay, I'm going to make video. Oh, wow, people actually like it? Well, then I'm going to make more of it and see what happens. But the thought is always like, the thought is always product first, right? How can I make this show interesting for you, the audience who is taking time out of their very busy life to spend it with me, right? How can I give you the best possible show I can? That's always at the top of my mind.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason that I mentioned why you are the face of the game,
Sure.
at least for the Discord community,
Yeah.
like part of it is your personality, but part of it is like the type of content you put out. Like you were, I think, the first streamer with that type of consistency, who established new formats that are interesting, like this podcast, like streaming all your tournament matches.
Oh yeah, you
Uh,
have to, right? That's what the people want to see. They want to root for you. You need a hero, stuff like that.
and then Fixed Friday is like people love classic fix, so you give the people what they love and you enjoy it at the same time. Um, so it's not just your personality; it's what type of content and the frequency and like the thought you put into it.
Yeah. No, that's great, man. These thoughts are very much appreciated. You were talking about sales earlier as one of the topics that we could dig into. So I don't know what direction you'd like to lead in, but as far as the topic of sales go, um, sorry, I just have to comment on what Frail just said. Frail says, "I just wanted to say that I changed a diaper and am now feeding a baby, all without botting out." Well done, sir.
Yeah, like as we talked about before the podcast started, like I like to be helpful, and I think sales is a topic, like it's an extension of the topic of psychology, and like I'm not sure if you're curious about it. Like I think it's something that I had some natural tendencies to be good at, and then I learned how to become successful in it. But like, I'm not sure. Like I think it's best to go with if you have like a specific question about sales, and I can.
Yeah,
Go
okay. Well, so what did the skill acquisition tree for that look like? How did you get better at you said you were not necessarily initially gifted at psychology, but you learned. So what would the first intermediate steps to becoming great at that look like?
Um, like I think first step is to have a strong reason to have to get good at it.
Okay.
I would say in my case, um, it was conservative parents, like who grew up in uh, communist Romania in the 50s, 60s, 70s. So growing up in Germany, which is way more liberal, I needed to fight and understand how to get what I want. So I had a lot of early training in sales when it comes to selling freedom to my parents. Right? I started, I think, traveling by myself outside of Germany when I was 16, which is it was a hard sell. Um, and and being poor, or let's like, which wasn't the case for me, but I think being poor is a great motivator to get good at sales because that's the way, like that's one of the straightforward ways to get out of poverty is being good at sales. Like if you sell yourself, like if you convince other people that they should hire you, or if you go straight forward and you have a product or service and you sell it to a lot of people, is one of the easiest ways to become comfortable or wealthy or free or however you want to call it. And like I grew up like middle class, but from an early age I had to make my own money to fulfill my dreams. So like I like had this, like I really wanted to discover the world, and that requires money. So early on I found different avenues how to make money easily without a lot of effort because I'm lazy, and that's how I learned sales. Like I had an eBay shop when I was in high school.
Hey, me too. What did you sell?
Like I was a big rap fan, and
Okay.
I saw the videos of like American rap music, and the clothes were really hard to get in Germany. So I started with me wanting to wear the stuff that Jay-Z and 50 Cent or whoever was wearing,
Sure.
and be cool. And then I saw that I can sell it for like 3x, 10x to people in Germany, and that's what I did
So it was actually like a big money maker. Like it was quite profitable.
Yeah, like especially when you get like, I don't know, like let's say $30 a month, and then you make 1,000, 2,000 by yourself. It's like it feels like making a million, right?
Well, were these things treated as kind of collectibles, or was it just or the price was just based on it being fashion? It's a little of
Uh,
both, right?
yeah, like it's about, like I would break it down to being like the cool one in your circle of friends or school. Like if you were something that is hard to get, uh, you stand out, and people are willing to pay quite a lot of money for that.
Yeah, I see. I just still don't get fashion. I've never been cool a day in my life, dude. So, but good on people for being cool.
Yeah, I mean, uh, it's immature, but it financed my life for
Oh,
quite a
I'm not.
while.
Please, I was not implying that I make the thing I sold on eBay was toys and video games. So you want to talk about immature? That's not where I was going at all.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's funny. So you've always kind of embraced entrepreneurship.
yeah, I, like to me, entrepreneurship feels like a too big of word to describe
I
my
see.
endeavors,
Fine.
because like I always looked for easy ways to make money, which is like for a while I did sports betting because arbitrage was really easy at the time,
Yep.
uh, which is like another example of how I like to play risk. Like how do I find ways to win no matter how the game goes, right? That was how I approached sports betting. Um, and yeah, like whenever something was really hot, like iPhones were really hard to get, like the first generation of iPhones were really hard to get in Germany. So I flew to the US and bought a bunch and sold them here. Um, and um, like whenever, like usually how it worked so far at least, whenever I need money, opportunity shows up and I just have to, work at it.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, you saying that that's not how you define entrepreneurship. I think that's you underselling it now, right? I think the exact words you used was, I wanted to find easy ways to make money, so or something. I might be misquoting you slightly, but that is exactly how I define it.
Yeah,
So,
like to me, like, I think terms, like the meaning of terms changes. Like I think entrepreneurship used to mean like I'm fucking around and doing nothing, and then it means like I'm cool and I try to make the next $1 billion thing. Like I think to use it in a sensible meaning is like you actually try to build a company, not just like have a project that makes money for 3 months to finance your next 12 to 24 months.
okay.
Like I have a small business license, but I don't like I've never actually started a company for anything that I ever did.
Oh, well, okay. So I'm sorry. In Germany, small businesses are not considered companies?
No, like it's just like you need in Germany you need to have a license for breathing, right? So
Oh,
you need a
God.
license for everything. So if I just want to like write an invoice to anyone, I need to get my small business license, but I don't have to incorporate or I don't have to do anything. I just go to the like city hall equivalent and tell them like give me my license. They give me the license and that's it. Like it's not a company.
Right. Well, it's not a corporation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at some point I incorporated just because of liability issues. That's how it works in Ontario. Is I don't know. Is the corporate legal law in the EU different? Right. The corporation is a legal person. Right. So it assumes the liability.
Um,
You might
when
have
it comes
different business laws.
like my approach to liability is like crossing my fingers and hoping for the best. But as far as my knowledge goes, and like I've never been in this, like suing is not a big thing in Germany, and like I think I have never been in a dangerous like field like where like I actually have applicable liability, but like there are different forms of corporations that you can set up depending on your needs and depending on what type of corporation you set up. It's based on a person, it's based on whatever, and depending on that, liability laws apply or don't.
Okay. Why? That just makes me really curious. Why is it not? Why is litigation not a big thing? Suing isn't big in Germany. You said why?
Like I have to do some guesswork there, but I will give it a try. So, like the incentives are very differently when it comes to suing here. Like you can't get much money out of corporations or of private people or anything, right? It's like for Germans, it's like kind of entertaining how you can, like in other countries, you can like burn your lips at a coffee cup and get like 1 million for it.
Okay.
Like here, when you get in a car accident and the other person was drunk, and they give you like head trauma, and you have to be in a hospital for a month, you get like $800. And
From who? From them?
Yeah, from them or their insurance. Like I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it's not worth it. Like in a similar way, like how the incentives are. Like I think Germans are very good at following rules in general.
Yeah, no kidding.
Not so much at like when it comes to driving, because it's really cheap to break the rules when it comes to driving. Like you don't pay for your parking, you pay €5, something like that, and the parking ticket is €5. So why would you pay for parking? Or you speed like you go 30 miles or 50 kilometers an hour too fast, and you pay like €50. And in other countries, it's like 200, 300, 500 euros for the same thing. So the incentives are different, and I would say in many ways Germany is a very moderate country. So like we try to at least in the last 70 years we don't try to go to the extremes, and so that means we have like the way the incentives are, we have very few very rich people and almost no poor people.
Okay.
Like that translates to like litigation as well. Like you can't get rich through just suing someone, or you can get poor by getting sued, or by going to university, or by going to a hospital. Like all those things that are free or basically free in Germany.
Yeah.
Or like not free but included.
Yeah. It's too bad, because the existence of such a thing create a very strong disincentive for me wanting to continue to offer employment. And it is also a big reason for why I'm not terribly sure I want to live here anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you probably would like to employ, to offer employment even less in Germany, because the rules for getting fired will probably seem ridiculous. Like if you work for a company for more than a year, more than 2 years, they have to give you unlimited contract, and they basically can fire you until you fuck up in a major way.
Yep. Sounds good. Sounds like nothing gets done in Germany.
Yeah, like
But
we
yet you guys have the strongest economy in the EU. So what's the solution there? Do you like talking about economics? Can I dig into this, or is that boring?
No,
Okay, good,
I
good,
will.
good, good.
I think you're the type of person where I can tell you like I'm not that into that, or I have no idea how to answer that. So,
Sure.
with economy, I think what makes what makes Germany interesting, it's like if you want to survive in the cold, and I'm not talking about modern times, but going back 1,000 years, 10,000 years,
Yep.
you have to be really good at uh, planning and preparing for bad times. So I think Germany and the Nordic countries have a mind that lends itself to engineering, and engineering in modern times lend itself to being rich. Like the reason Germany became one of the richest countries in the world again after the Second World War is because we export so much engineering. And engineering is much more expensive than fruits and vegetables. So, and yeah, like it seems to be like if you deal with the populace of people who are in general, like on average, good at planning and carrying out things, um, and you have like the normal social pressure of like if you're doing good things, you get brownie points and more respect. Um, like it sorts itself out. Like we're like, compared to like I know more about the U.S. Um, like we are like we have a much more relaxed lifestyle. Like we don't uh, work as much and have like 6 weeks of paid vacation and really enjoy those. Um, and when you are looking for excellence in your field, it's probably still the best idea to go to the US. But if you want to have a good quality of life, it's better to be in Europe.
Well, I'm just going to go right out and say it because I've been mulling this over, but I think the fact of the pandemic accelerating certain inevitable trends vis-a-vis the economy and society has hastened the end of the American Empire, right? I think we are now living in the end times.
Hmm.
We are living. We will live to see the fall of Rome, so to speak. Which, as a Canadian, I think I have a reasonable excuse for that to scare the shit out of me, given that where the U.S. goes, so shall we, just because of the interlinked nature and similarity in culture and geography and all that. So more and more I start to see things happening in the culture that I don't like, don't agree with, and scare me. And I say, well, maybe I would be safer to establish roots somewhere else and live as an old man in Asia or in an up and coming, in the next empire. However you want to think about it.
Yeah, like I think you know where to find the next empire. Like
Yeah,
even
I think so too.
uh, um, I yeah, like the decline will probably take some time, and if you're a resourceful person, even in a declining circumstance, you will um, be able to achieve whatever you put your mind to.
Yeah,
Like,
and don't get me wrong, I fully believe that. What I'm getting at, though, is with the. You're talking about if you seek excellence, go to the United States. And you're talking about excellent of excellence, right? The top of the top. And that still is true. I think I agree. But I don't know for how much longer. Because the other cultures, other perspectives have certain advantages inherent to them. And I think the cultural degradation and just the utter obsession over nonsense that doesn't matter and bullshit has reached a fever pitch. And yeah, I'm maybe this is old man Pete whinging about it, but that scares me, and I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah, like I think in like the industry where the US is really leading, it will take quite some time until that will change. Like if you look at entertainment, entrepreneurship, and like academic science.
Yep.
If you're in those fields and you want to be surrounded by the very best in the world and be in a position to be extremely rewarded for your efforts, I think at least for the next 10 years, it will be still the US.
Sure. But as a 38-year-old man, the next 10 years doesn't actually seem like all that long anymore. Right? So I don't want to. I've already been here. So if I'm earnestly thinking about actually moving somewhere else, I don't want a 10-year time horizon. I want longer. I want to try and predict the future even further out, as if I have the audacity to do so, right?
Yeah, like I think, as you know, it's impossible to predict pretty much anything about the future, but like the question I think you have to answer for yourself is what you're looking for, like a fun, adventurous life, a stable, safe life, and from there you make the decision where you want to live.
Why can't I have it all? What if I want it all? What if I'm greedy?
Yeah, it's like you want to have like a iced tea and a hot tea at the same time. Like it's not possible. Like you can have that at different points and to different degrees, but at some point, like you have to, you have to make a decision. Like whatever is important to you, I think you can achieve, but like two opposing things at the very same time, you can't.
Sure.
Like you can have like 50-50 safety and adventure, or you can have 100% adventure and almost no safety, or like almost all safety, no adventure, but 100% adventure and 100% fun at the same time. Like you have to alternate or find the type of balance that fits you.
Yeah. And I don't honestly know if I know what that is. I haven't performed the experiment yet, so I can't say.
Yeah, like that's the only like sure thing, that doing nothing won't help you going forward.
Bodies at rest, stay at rest. Bodies in motion, stay in motion. Thermodynamics.
Like you can, just like test things out, do something for 2 weeks, 2 months, and then you know more than sitting and thinking for however long you want.
It's true. Shit or get off the pot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, I would love to see Singapore one day. What it would be like to live there. I don't know. I love freedom. This actually... Okay, so here's a fun one to dig into with you. I think this is actually going to be my topic for the Fixed Friday sort of philosophy chat this week. But what do you think about the word freedom? What does it mean to you?
I think I've never thought about it.
Yeah.
The past part of I love freedom and I want to have as much as possible.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, like I think personalities are very different when it comes to that. Like when we talk about freedom and safety,
Okay.
uh, there are people who like their routine and they find like I would consider my big brother very different in that regard. Like he loves his routine and he has no appetite, like nothing that calls him to go on an adventure, and he's happy.
Okay.
And so yeah, like freedom is the ability to do what you want to do, and like that, no outer force is stopping you from doing it.
Right. So I've always internalized freedom as one of my highest virtues.
Mhm.
But the more I think about it, the more I realize that I think I've been lying to myself this whole time. Like, I'm not really as free as I like to think I am. And I don't think
Okay.
anyone is. I think we have, like you said, the freedom to do whatever you want. Well, what happens if what you want is incepted or predetermined?
Yeah, like that's we're going into the territory that you're deeply interested in, philosophy,
Oh yeah,
and
that's why I asked, my friend. That's why.
I'm like that's a little bit abstract to me. Like we don't know if you know everything is predetermined or not. I just know the subjective feeling of I have the freedom to choose things, or I am in a situation where I am restricted by my employer, by my finances, by society, and I try to get as far as possible from that as I manage.
Right. Well, this is why you don't seek to have an employer, right? The buck stops with you. It's how I've always decided to live my life as well. But
Yeah.
I'm coming to think that what I believe to be true about freedom might not be the case for most people. I don't think most people actually want that or see it as a virtue. I think most people are lazy and would be happy to have almost all of their decisions made for them. And as long as they're happy and safe and comfortable, they don't want to do the work.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
Well, I hate that. It might be true, but I hate it. It's very presumptive. Like, we grew up in school with the idea that you're free to choose your government, right? You get to vote, okay?
Mhm.
And then the more like, stop me if this delves into territory that you don't find fun discussing, but this is just stuff that's been on my mind recently. It's like, if I'm free to choose between two options that don't represent me at all, then I'm a slave, right? I'm not free at all.
Mhm.
So, one of the things I've been a fairly passionate advocate for is non representational democracy, where people get to vote for whatever it is that means something to them. And if they don't care to do so, they don't do so. Because I see the existence of politicians as this horribly obsolete system that maybe was okay designed given the technology of the time a couple hundred years ago, but does not lead to a world that is free at all today. And I, on some level, just hate the idea that I'm a slave. I despise it. Do you think I'm being melodramatic?
Um, I have to say I tuned a little bit out when it started to come to the topic of politics. Like that's really
It's not your
my
flavor. Okay, it's not your flavor.
favorite.
We can we
But
can we
yeah,
can move on for it then. The one thing I wanted to say is that the philosophical instantiation in the real world is always been something that interests me, right? I don't do philosophy just to talk for its own sake, right? I really want to hope that all of this is making the world better in some way, but I know that's awful presumptive of me to even think that I could, right?
I mean, I I think it's hard to predict like what kind of actions will have a positive impact on the world. Like in a big way, in a small way, right? We can't really predict how our actions will actually affect things
Right.
long term, right?
Right. We can't even predict how our actions will affect us. We're very bad at
So,
that.
like in general, approach that seems to work, at least for me, is like being a good, friendly, helpful person in the areas that you care about. Like if everyone does that, it doesn't seem at least like a terrible idea.
Yeah, I try my best, man. Okay, topic change. Do you think in these types of progressive caps games, do you think that the majority of your game actions are meaningful? Or do you think the outcome, we're talking about predicting, right? Do you think the outcome has mostly to do with luck, or do you think that you can influence other people to do other things?
Um, yeah, of course, you can influence other people to do things. Like that's the foundation that Risk is standing on.
Okay. I don't think I agree, but tell me why you think so.
Because you have like it depends what you like in this game. You actually know the players, you know their psychology, you have like a reasonable model of how they would react to different situations that you present to them,
Mm-hmm.
and you can make those situations happening by either attacking them, attacking others, by using emojis, by in or in this case VC as well, since many are actually with us,
Mm-hmm.
at least listening. So yeah, you have many ways to influence the game. The issue is with rock caps and people who are good at the game and understand the mechanics. It's hard to get it to a 2 or 3 people end game. If you're not willing to, you know, uh, have a high risk of losing the game yourself. So
Right.
that makes those settings more, yeah, like a challenge of endurance and discipline most of the time, and like the perfect format for a long form podcast.
Yes. Perfect format for just hanging out and having a conversation. Hmm. You're a very mysterious person. Do you get that a lot? You're a hard guy to know, I guess.
Like I hear it sometimes. I
Yeah.
think I like I'm an open book. I love to hear people's truth, and I love that people usually have a very easy time to open up with their real thoughts and deep secrets to me, and I think I'm good at keeping those things a secret. Um, and yeah, like part of the magic of traveling is that people are way more open and honest about what they think and want. And so, like, I'm analytic, so that maybe goes a bit into seeming like a little reserved and mysterious. But I have, as I told you before, like no issue sharing anything you're curious about.
Cool. I like that. I like to think of myself as being very open as well. Well, what's next for you in this game then? If you've already reached the heights of the ranking system, you still find it fun, I assume, but you're doing it on different accounts?
I did that before I did my number one run. I played a lot of GMs on my alts with
Yep.
like ranked,
Yep.
and yeah, like the tourneys. Like I think now, uh, like now that the most important thing is done, I will go to the second most important thing, which is winning one of the tournaments.
How did you do this season, by the way? Let's take a look. Where's Amerigo?
Like I was 1 point below, I think, round 4 cutoff.
Ah, you had a terrible round 3. You got bad luck. Those settings were very lucky. The round 3 settings. Yeah, you lost first. I see. Huh. I think you would have done. I think you would have done fine in the round 4.
Yeah, but yeah, like free for all means that a lot of people who are really good at the game have to lose.
Certainly.
Early. Like
Yeah.
people much better than me in free for all went out even before me.
It's true. That doesn't mean you're going to stop trying, though.
Yeah, like it's the easiest way to have fun, and I think actually will benefit my chances to win a tournament is to not be the best at it, because then people will pay less attention to me, hopefully.
Well, just don't say that out loud.
Yeah,
Because
people have a short memory.
Oh yeah, not me, buddy. I remember our games. Remember that the one GM tournament where I just hung out behind you and you gave me second? The whole game I did nothing. I just hung out behind you. You trapped me. It was Archenos, fixed Archenos, and I couldn't do fuck all. But
I mean, you tried to kill me.
no, I didn't.
You
No, I didn't try to kill. What are you talking about?
Your own words.
That doesn't sound like me.
But yeah, like those tournament game, like it's a lot of fun to play GMs in rank. Like whoever,
Definitely.
like the minority who accepts everyone in their lobby or joins GMs in their lobby. That's a lot of fun and games. But honestly, I try to play a bit less risk. Like I think, like any type of game that's a lot of fun and has a lot of rewards can be abused, like as a way to, for instance, what we talked about just now, avoid difficult, unpredictable decisions.
Yeah. Games is a distraction from real life.
Oh yeah, I would put myself in that same camp. Like I'm like semi-retired for 5 years, and I know that it has to change. Like I didn't save up in a way that I can stay semi-retired
Got it.
forever. So I'm looking for the next thing, but already since a year or so, and this time nothing jumps out, and that's why I played a lot of Risk in the past 12 months.
Olive's in the chat now. Hey Pete, how do we end this game? It's an endurance challenge, my friend. It always is. Do you want to collaborate, Olive? Should we open up the chat, Amerigo? Do you want to?
Yes.
Do you feel like we'd be comfortable having everyone in this VC?
As you want to have the show. Like
Okay,
I'm
I think this is a fine time to make it more of a group conversation.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let me just play my turn, and then let's see if anyone in this VC doesn't have permission to talk. I can feel free to unmute yourselves, but if you still can't talk, you might have to just leave and come back in. But I'm giving everyone permission to come say hi if you'd like, and then maybe we can progress the end of the game. What do you think?
Let's try out the VC collusion.
Yes, exactly. RJ's been the most active as far as I can tell. As far as punching through me twice, but we'll see how many troops he's got. Hey RJ, what's up?
Move this game along.
Yeah, let's well, you're trying your best, sir.
That's like all I can really do is the problem.
Was I annoying because every time you broke me, I just reset?
No, like, I mean, it's prog caps. That's what's gonna happen.
Right.
But like,
You tried.
no, if I would have had somebody to help, I think we would have progressed it a little bit.
Who would help you though? I'm the hero.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah. I'm supposed to win. What are you talking about?
I'm surprised Olive hasn't hit your damn 333 or
I'm
something.
not.
Right
Olive and I have been perfect friends this
I know.
entire
Yeah,
time.
at first.
Yeah,
at
RJ.
first-
You
at
want to
first me
advance
and
the
him
game?
I mean, I'll suicide.
No, I know exactly what to do.
Okay, he's got an idea.
We card block Amerigo.
On his
Oh,
own
yeah.
show.
He made the mistake of choosing to be in the corner.
Oh wow.
Your cap is perfect because you block most of the middle. You see how I have it by 24 and 29 right next to you? Amerigo can only attack 2 areas right now. Once those are blocked, he's going to break Pete's continent. Pete doesn't care because he owns the +8 and the +2, and he wants to have a life after this game. Once Amerigo loses those 4 territories, he is going to be card blocked, and you and I can work together to slowly eliminate Amerigo.
Sounds good to me.
Wow.
That's a very good idea. The only problem with the plan is that Pete likes me and he has a strong sense of justice.
I do.
No?
I do. And RJ's fucked with me twice now, so maybe we card block RJ instead. What do y'all think about that one?
That's
No,
gonna be a
because
hard
it's
one card
impossible to block him as much right now.
I hear ya.
Like Amerigo can
My
very
cap hits
easily be
1, 2,
blocked
3, 4,
because
5,
he
6,
he has to go through 4 locations. 2 of those are guarded by a cap: Pete's cap and RJ's cap.
Well, if I let you know what my plan is, and maybe you like that one too.
I mean, like Amerigo, you can do whatever you want to try to make like a plan like with me. I mean, but like the point is that I have infinite ability forever to get cards because I have all this like flexibility, like with Pete.
He just hasn't had to exploit me yet for that flexibility.
Yeah, like I think Pete would like to card trade with me. Like we have a beautiful spot where we can do that forever.
I mean, yeah, Pete, if you did trade with Amerigo in the back there forever, yeah, the game would like never end. Like that is the next step to end the game. Like at this point, I've waited for cards to get into the thousands. Amerigo wants to get mean and hit my 29 and 24. I'll make a random frowny face to make the viewers chuckle a little bit, but I don't care about 50 troops anymore.
Right.
I specifically avoided all conflict because right now I'm the troop leader. So I can do basically this is the plan. Americo, I think you're amazing, and I'm so happy you're doing on this podcast.
But it is time for you to die.
And, like I think if Pete and I card trade, then
Yeah, if you guys card trade, the game will just never end. I can't control that. You can do whatever you want, Pete. But this will end the game.
like I think you and other players would run out of territories at some point to. To do
Why would we run out of territories? We would trade with each other. Like, how would we run out of territories? I have 2 capitals with thousands of troops on them. Keep can't card block all of those locations, nor does he want to.
Yeah, maybe because you were the first backstabber in this round. People don't want to give you territories.
In the very beginning of the game, I took Frail out of one location because it did not make sense for him to be there because his cap wasn't there, and I graciously gave it to Pete.
Graciously. And then RJ gave you an entirely
Nice.
free cap for some
Oh
reason.
yeah, because I didn't think I was gonna be able to hold it on. I was like, yeah, if I do this, I probably die. But I'm wearing a good old stalemate here.
I mean, you can always throw those 1,700 troops into someone you don't like.
Well, I mean, it's the title of your YouTube channel.
Oh, shit!
Yeah.
I'm about to eat my words then.
Wait, America, I had a question.
Yep.
I left in like the middle of it, and I was listening to music and something. But you said that you're retired now. Like you're basically retired for like 5 years.
Yeah, like I did some like fun projects whenever they showed up, but I didn't hold like a real job down for the last 5 years. Yeah.
Okay. And then like, do you mind if I ask like what kind of like projects was it? More like sales or something? Because I remember you said something about selling yourself to like if you could sell yourself to somebody. I mean, it's like Jordan Belfort. If you can sell anything if you can get anything with your hands on it and you can sell it, you're gonna be successful. Like, is that what you were trying to say?
I will answer your question in a minute. Like I just want to tell Pete, I will help you win.
I'm down. I like being helped to win.
Since Olive suggested I should lose, I think I will help you to,
Good.
eliminate.
I like that. I like that idea. How could Olive have the audacity to suggest that you should lose?
On my
I'm
show.
saying that Amerigo should lose. I'm saying the game should progress.
Well,
Because we all win by having fun.
This is true. I'm winning already. I feel like a winner.
so to answer the question about sales, like I would say like a lot of like non-business life is about sales as well. That's what I like. Since I enjoy it, I do it in my free time, like convincing people to do things. For instance, my girlfriend had trouble getting a like residency in Germany, and I talked with the authorities until they bended the rules. Like I would say,
Very charming, I'm sure, or just had a convincing argument.
like it was a mix of techniques that worked.
Yes.
I would say, and other than that, like I had the opportunity, for instance, to work in spring break, or like in Cancun and Bahamas for like 2 months, and I always wanted to know what it's like. So I did that.
Well, I'll tell you, it's fun because I'm in college.
Yep. It
Oh,
was.
oh yeah, is spring break a good time?
It was almost as advertised, like a little bit like when you know how the sausage gets made, it tastes not as good anymore. But it was definitely a fun time. And like here in Berlin, someone asked me if I want to do castings, like if I want to go to people on the street and tell them I make them famous. So of course I said yes to that.
Did you make anybody famous?
I mean,
You're probably not allowed to tell, but like you could say like a number.
no, like it's more of the fun to tell people that you don't know on the street that type of line. Like I casted for TV, so they got their 15 minutes. But as far as I know, nobody got like past those 15 minutes. Yeah, and like whenever some opportunity shows up, like one anecdote I can tell, which I'm not sure will materialize, but it's a good story related to risk, is like I have a friend like I would say, my smartest friend, and like he hangs out with a lot of rich, interesting types of people, and he asked me what kind of project I would be interested in, and I like off the cuff I told him I like women, and I like strategies, so I would like to work with the OnlyFans girl to make her more successful. And he told me he knows one of the girls that makes like 50 to 100 grand a month,
It's pretty good money.
and he heard she might need some help. And the way he introduced me was not like my academic achievements or sales achievements, but he said, I have a friend and he's a top 5 risk player in the world. I think he can help you with your OnlyFans.
Wow,
So-
how much of a scam that CEO made?
So yeah, like I think like that as a shorthand to like be top 100, top 10, whatever in the game shows that you are, able to think strategically. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah,
No, I got another one. So do you like financials and stuff?
so.
Okay. You do any like crypto or anything?
No.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Just dwelling on the OnlyFans, I feel like, being that I enjoy making video work, I would be interested in making a directorial debut, but we should team up on this project, no?
Bring out the nuclear submarine.
Why not? Why not,
You'd rather
RJ?
make money with it.
That's what I'm saying. It's not just for show. Put it to good use, And awkward pause. Okay, so we're back to progressing this game, or
Yeah. Like, I was distracted. Like
all
next
good.
round, I will hit Olive to help you.
Gabe says this sounds like a very fun game. Lol. Yes, Gabe. It always is with progressive caps. So, how are you all looking forward to the GM tournament?
Oh, I'm gonna talk so much shit on you.
Good, excellent. It's gonna be a fucking blast, eh?
I saw that we were in the same group. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a fun one."
Oh yeah.
No, I don't know. I'm gonna get my ass
Well,
whooped by
Pete,
everybody,
just to check with you, so you are not trading cards with Amerigo right now, right? You just traded in on 4.
Yeah.
Okay, this is very good. We
I-
can advance the game now.
I have definitely been trading cards with Amerigo.
Yeah, like he's getting angry and hitting me a little bit, but I don't really care.
Okay.
So RJ, do you want to do the
Yeah,
honors
I
of
got
card
the top, you got
blocking,
the bottom.
or do you want to do it together, or how do you want to do this?
but it's up to you. I could do top. I could do both. Whatever.
Yeah, you get Amerigo on top, I'll get him on bottom.
Max, buddy.
Man, Frail's got a lot of troops too.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for him. He's a sneaky one.
No, I trust Frail implicitly.
Really depends on if I'm holding the baby currently, trying to do a diaper change, or
Changes your whole
if my
strategy.
hands are free.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks.
Frail is a new father, so that's very exciting.
Yeah, exciting and not a lot of sleep.
Well, this is so we hear.
360.
I'm sure in 60 years it'll be all worth it.
I think in like 15 years it'll all be worth it.
Right. Right now it's you know what, I don't know. I think there's a lot of rhetoric around the early years being a chore, but I bet you they're their own reward in its own way, right? I have a bit of a theory about how work creates meaning. Maybe it's not my theory, but You know, we don't find the things that we've been given to be meaningful. We find the things that we've earned to be meaningful. So in that way,
The early like first 3 months, it's not the work that's the problem. I mean, really it's just diaper changes and feeding.
Yeah.
It's just the lack of sleep. Just a newborn can't sleep more than 3 hours basically. So
why?
their stomach can't hold very much. Their stomach can really only hold like 3 hours worth of food. So they just wake up
Puppy.
hungry every 3 hours.
Yeah, they're growing so fast, they're constantly hungry. Sure.
Yeah, once we get to the point where she can, hold some food down, then I will be really excited. But not there yet.
How old?
She is like 2 weeks old. I can't even keep track of the days right now.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But yeah,
Thanks.
Thanks.
Brand new human.
I knew.
Yeah.
Does he got that new car smell?
New baby smell for sure.
Yeah.
Smells like
Even their
something,
poop
but
doesn't
it's,
smell that bad
it's
at this
not.
point.
Yeah, it's not a car. You breaking me? Get out of here.
I need my cards somewhere, right? And I concentrated all on
Well,
my
I wasn't.
caps, so
I wasn't talking to you, Amerigo. You do your thing.
all right.
Yeah.
How is Amerigo still getting cards?
Because I told you, because I'm trading with him.
Why?
Why does everyone
he-
have to listen to you?
The game won't end then.
Well, there's a way for you to make it end, my friend.
I
I
think
mean,
Pete will
okay, if
then-
we were to card block Pete, I could go like a four-way.
He's got another plan. The plan has changed.
But the thing is that America will keep trading with Pete. The only thing we do is card block Frail.
I dislike that plan.
Because that's a little hard to do right now. I'd rather not go after Frail.
If only we could card block you all, but
I was just thinking
RJ
the
went.
same
There's no way you
thing.
can card block me
RJ
right
went
now,
and gave you a
Pete.
second cap. I know.
There's just I specifically took territory capital spots that are guarded by a large number of troops and areas.
He's thought of everything, ladies and gentlemen.
And plus, you're getting so many troops per turn. This will hurt you. Why would you actively promote and influence the group for something that's to your detriment?
What do you mean? I like Amerigo. I don't want Amerigo to die. He's my buddy.
But you also like getting troops.
I'm getting troops right now, aren't I? Are you
You'll
threatening
get less
me?
troops.
Are you threatening me? You're saying you're going to make me get less troops? I like getting lots
Well,
of
to
troops.
card block me, you can't do it by
I'm not
yourself.
I didn't
Everyone's
say
got to work together.
I didn't say I was going to card block you, man.
Well, okay, so you can't card block me.
Yeah, because I can't. I'm just chilling. Just playing a fun game of Risk here with my buddies. In such a big rush for it to end.
You can do that if you want, RJ.
It's gonna be hard to card block Pete.
See, I'm starting to think it might have made more sense if we actually played this fixed caps like the tournament settings. But then again, the existence of VC changes it too.
Yeah, and it was like the perfect setting to focus our attention to what we were actually talking about.
How much time would you say you spend on this game? Do you play every day?
Still talking to me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me do something sneaky here. And then I will answer you. I think I averaged 15 hours a week for the past 12 months.
Okay. Part-time job.
Yeah, what I really liked about it is that I can actually do work on the side. That project ended.
You weren't it didn't take too much of your attention?
No.
Or you'd be like doing work while waiting for a lobby to fill?
Like both.
Okay.
Like the 60 seconds that the opponent does his thing is enough to do the type of work. Like that's how I made some money during the last 4 years. It's like I'm quite good at pattern recognition, and there was like a pattern recognition online project, and I could do it like they say you need like certain amount of tasks per hour, and I had like 4 or 5 times what they needed, so I could do a lot of other stuff while I was working.
I need to get into whatever you're doing because I'm starting to get too old to mow lawns.
Oh, Pete.
How many do you mow in the summer?
Last summer I did like 50 a week, 45 a week, something like that. So it was like a part-time job. Most we did 450. That was the biggest my company ever got to, which was a lot.
450 in a week?
Yeah. I had 8 employees. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was a lot.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot to
One
manage.
of those, do you have a zero turn, whatever it's called?
I do. I had 3 when we were trying to do all that. I ran like 4 crews plus myself. But it turns out I enjoy the work, the actual doing the work, a lot more than the managing the people.
Okay.
So.
Whatever.
You want out?
Yeah.
Good night. See you later. Bye.
Amerigo, if you do it, I'll do it. Do it.
What's happening? Oh shit, I'm missing stuff. It's happening. See, RJ? You fucking clear me out of the map right at the crucial time. I can't see what the fuck's going on.
Hey, I wanted you to not know.
Damn it.
Like there's a cheap cap to get.
Oh, yeah? Oh. That army doesn't look frail at all. It looks robust. Beefy.
I can't scroll fast enough.
Yeah, I got one of these special gaming mouse so I can unlock the wheel.
Yours?
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
I do that too. It's so nice.
It's nice. You get like thousands of troop scrolls.
Spin.
Frail, do you have a touchscreen on your laptop? Or are you...
I'm on a phone.
Okay. Like, I think the fastest way to do it
TikTok,
without...
TikTok. Oh, he did it. He did the split. He did the split. Oh. All right, I gotta go take a look now. What the fuck happened there? Just inquiring minds, you know. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess I haven't played enough broadcasts. I haven't run into that problem before.
The scroll. Yeah.
Yeah.
And another cheap cap.
Right. It is always fascinating to me, the outcomes and the things that determine the outcomes of these games. It's treated like it's the highest form of risk or something, but it just seems like a bunch of random things that happen.
Broadcasts.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it kind of comes down whenever it's
Oh,
there's
Pete,
like big stacks like this. Whoever bots out first or suicides.
as you can probably assume, I'm blocking the north. If you're blocking the south, he will probably suicide into me. Since Olive has only one card.
Well, I'm
And
not,
the-
but I'm not blocking anything.
Man, caps are so messed up.
So messed up.
RJ's the wild card this game.
You lost 600 to my 800 cap. Like, what is wrong with dice these days?
Yeah, it's upsetting.
So Olive only has 1,000 troops left.
What are...
What are the sets worth?
400.
415. So your VC rolls are basically do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, how else would you do it?
No, I agree. Like, you have to kind of have it that way.
Yeah. Like, I think the main thing I wanted with those rules, and I think even using the word rules is a bit of a stretch, but the main thing I wanted to do was just set up the expectation properly that, yeah, people are going to try and get you killed, and you have access to that exact same tool. So what do y'all do with it is the interesting sort of fun play to it, right?
Who's the best negotiator?
Yeah, well, part of it, like I think it's
Yeah.
it's an entire skill set for the game of Risk that is underexplored or completely unexplored, right? So that's what I came into this community, I see how things are, I was like, wow, that could be really fun. It could also be really unfun. So you got to kind of head off the unfun and be like, listen, we're all here to have a good time. Nobody, like, obviously no personal attacks, right? No fuck you, you asshole. None of that, right? Let's make sure that we end the game as friends. But with all that considered,
All right, Pete. If I take another 100 of Olive's cap, would you take him out?
I can't though. I can't actually hit him.
I can solve that problem.
Uh-oh. You guys are trying to get me to team on Olive, but what on Olive been my friend all game? Why would I do that?
I thought you liked to win, right?
I do like to win. I love to win. So you're suggesting to me a winning play where I win the game?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm down. I'm down to win.
So should I open up your cap or not?
My cap is open. I'm taking 100 off his cap.
I mean Pete's cap.
I mean, why don't you just go investigate and see what you see, Frail? I don't want to tell you I don't presume to tell you what to do with your game. Oh my god. Well, I guess I have to now. GG, bro.
You got what you wanted, Olive.
Man, it's a real test of the scrolling now.
I mean, you don't really need the +2 at this stage of the game, right?
That's not what I'm scrolling for. Oh, fucking god damn it! Ah! It went into the
Wild.
the bought out menu. And that stopped my massive scroll. Oh shit. Technical failure.
Good thing I'm blocked from that cap.
You didn't see nothing.
Were you able to fortify, Pete, or do you have one really weak cap now?
How weak do you think it is?
I'll tell you that I see
now.
a cap with
That ain't
3,349 on it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Oh, I can't believe I went into the bought out menu. That really needs to be an option you can disable.
Is there no way to disable it, like doing some clicks, some movement?
Oh, you gotta wiggle the map or something?
Yeah.
Is the on like the friends, like whatever friend is online, is that thing broken?
What do you mean?
Like whenever you look like in the top right, whenever you are on the menu.
Yeah, I think it like
That has
it
to be
randomly
broken,
breaks
right?
sometimes.
Yeah. Every time I see it, somebody's on, and I'm like, wait, they just got off.
What's broken for me is I'm too popular, so apparently you can only have a maximum of 500 risk friends. And when I asked, you can't have more because it like when you're playing the game, it actually checks. So it sends information back and forth from the server. If you have too many friends, it would cause it could potentially cause problems. Like with the integrity of the game.
Wild.
Indeed. So those first world problems, you know? I see you attacking a lot there, RJ. What's happening?
I'm just browsing around.
Taking a peek, eh?
Yeah, taking a stroll downtown. Making
Just
my way
punching me.
downtown.
Wait, so does Pete still have 2 caps?
Yeah.
No one hit the 300 cap?
Go take a look.
It was more than that. It wasn't favorable.
Yeah, you didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
Didn't want to take the
Right.
risk?
It was the cards plus 300, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
I liked your early kill though, RJ. That was pretty aggressive. I just thought maybe if you were going to do it, you would save both caps or something, right?
It just didn't. I knew that Olive had a lot. So I was seeing what he was doing.
Yeah,
And
he
I just
got
didn't
very strong.
think that I was gonna be able to.
Yeah, I think that was the right move. You would have been too
I think
weak
I
to
would have
hold both.
died, or I would have been really hurt right after, basically. Also, Feliz just kept fucking with me, and I was like, God damn it!
Usually how it goes.
It looks like RJ wants to die next because he's antagonizing me.
I see.
Yeah, should we card block him?
You ready to get your next kill?
Thank you. I will take the free wins. He seems to be antagonizing a lot of people. Is this how you like to play Risk, RJ?
He's rolling a 4-on-3.
Nice.
And he won. God damn it.
Uh-oh. I think my camera finally broke. We have to do the rest of this episode without a face cam. Been waiting for that to break for a while now. I should probably install it before my tournament game next tomorrow morning. You can all hear me, right?
Yeah.
Just checking. Oh man. Have any of you guys tried these Himeji Castle settings? Round 5?
I haven't.
They are challenging. Fixed zombies and fog on Himeji Castle with a bot. Zombies and a bot.
All right, Amerigo. I have RJ blocked from the south.
Okay. Like including his...
No.
Nope. Nope.
He had a line through Pete that I didn't see.
Like what's with his 1,800 cap?
I think it's totally blocked in. If you can't see it, then it's blocked in.
Yeah, like I don't have the troops to safely block him, but there are only 5 territories left, and after that he runs out of territories to go to.
Sure. He will definitely do some damage to me by then, but...
The give Pete the game strategy, huh?
I have the small problem that I have nowhere left to hit now.
No, you got
Oh
some.
no, okay.
You got
Yeah,
some.
Pete's
Yeah.
Pete's 3. There we go.
You're fine.
Ooh, he's preparing.
So how is your team doing in five-a-side? You're saying you were on top in fact, so it's not just a clever name?
Yeah, like this season it's quite balanced. Like in the prelims we were behind Goat and Dreambreakers,
Mm-hmm.
and right now we are on top. And I think we're leading by 6 points, and there's a 2v2 and a 1v1 to go. I think we have 60% to win it. Like Ike and Sin are much better than Tyler and me
Yep.
in 2v2. So
But you and Tyler are very, very good players as well. So
yeah, I think if we get lucky and we win that, or draw it, then they can't overtake us. But if they sweep us, they are leading.
so it ended up being you and Tyler doing the 2v2
Yeah, I'm out right now
for
like-
for personal
for obvious reasons.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I think we switch 2v2 teams almost every week.
Cool.
Like Marin did it. Like I think Tyler is the pillar. Like he played every week, but almost every week with somebody else.
He's another guy. I think Tyler, if it is even possible, he is underrated.
Yeah, he plays really well.
Oh yeah.
And like he's actually as you talked about Phil, like he's a good person. Like it's fun
Yes,
to-
he's a real human being. It's nice, huh? It's nice to make some friends for virtually, if nothing else. Now I got to twist his arm to do the show, though.
What did he say so far?
He said, "Why would I give other people more information about me than I need to?" Not in those words, but I think that's ultimately what's on his mind, is that if anything, it is a strategic disadvantage for other people to know all of this about you. Whereas my approach to it has always been the opposite, right? I'm going to inundate you with information and try and subtly manipulate everyone's view of me to make them think I'm a good Risk player, when in fact we all know the truth, right, guys?
Yeah, like I'm a little surprised because he doesn't seem to be like this like painfully competitive person, or like he enjoys fun and the challenge of it.
Yeah.
So I think like
Well, I just
if you're
think
good about it,
it's also like just being a private person, right? Not everybody wants to. I'm sure you could attest to that, right? Not everybody wants to make the innermost working of their mind public.
I opened his cap.
Oops.
I was trying to slider blitz and I failed.
like which one? The one in
The one closer to you.
Surias? Okay. I mean that's one card. Like he has 4 territories on my side left after he can't take anything. Like he can suicide in me, I guess, or whoever.
There's one question I always like to ask people, and seeing as how I haven't asked you this one yet, and I was touching on it. If somebody asked you if you were good at Risk, Amerigo, what would you tell them?
I'm good at Risk.
Nice. Just the simple yes?
Depends how much they want to know, but I think it would be false humbleness to say like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know, I know where I stand on the totem pole, and it's deep into good player territory. Like I played every grandmaster that accepts people in their lobby. I played a lot of play with friends, and I played a lot of tournaments, so I'm good.
I wonder if when I say it, people think I'm joking around, or rather, if people get that I'm joking around, if they think it's false humility.
It depends who your
Definitely, yeah.
comparison is, right? If you compare yourself to the 3-5 best in the world, then you're not outstanding. If you compare yourself to the more than 1 million active Risk players just on this app every month, you are in the top 0.001 or better, right?
Which is a fair way to look at it. I try my best to honestly speak the truth when I speak, and it's hard when it's something so subjective.
I mean, it's not like art. It's a game with rules, and if you win way more than almost every other player, then it's very objective.
You don't think games?
I do
are,
think
you think games are art?
No, it's not like you said. It's very subjective if you're a good player. Like I think art is subjective, but if you play as you did 4,270 games, and you have one of the highest win rates of any player around, and it's not subjective. You're objectively a good player.
Yeah, you have the stats to prove it. It would be nice though if we had a better ranking system, so I could just point to that and say, "Here, take a look." Let this
Whatever
decide.
the ranking system is, it will have the same result.
Yeah, you think it's going to be as flawed as this one?
Not as flawed, but if the same 10 people who really care now,
Yeah.
and who are really good at figuring out the system and to stack the odds in their favor, they will do the same under the next system, and there will be almost no change.
Yes.
In who's actually on.
I completely agree with that sentiment. I think the fact of there being a better ranking system, the thing that it would change would be we could point to that list and say, I believe, and we all believe and agree, that this is now more meaningful, because the process by which we went through to obtain it was fair.
The nearest player as well.
It's got a cameo from Mrs. Frail Waif there, so made it on the show.
Hey, Frail, how supportive is your better half when it comes to your habit?
Habit is a good way to put it.
She thinks it's fun. Makes fun of me for it sometimes, but
Oh,
Yeah, my wife does too. But that's what they're for, right? To keep you humble? Put you in your place? What about you, Amerigo? Is your partner supportive?
Yeah, I think she's an angel when it comes to that. Like, she doesn't like the game, but she actually, she celebrates with me if good things happen, and she's like, making a little fun of me as well. But yeah, like when I was ranking, she actually she had some fun ideas of what we will do together when I hit top 50 or top 10. So that
Nice.
was.
Did you get something special for number one? You don't have to tell me. It's nice to hear, man.
Like, I actually got something special for top 50 and for top 50 and top 10, and then yeah, like top 1 was just a matter of time.
Pete, I need your help.
Yes. What's up?
So like that.
I'm gonna
well,
make some space for you to reduce the stack.
Reduce a stack.
There.
Reduce a stack? Why are you putting all this pressure on me?
There's a 200, and if it dies, then RJ's blocked. From your cap, from your cap, from your cap. Nice.
I mean, he still didn't go into those 4 territories, but that's just.
Oh,
like,
really? Okay, he's just budgeting very well. Pete likes to block with 250 rather than 15 like me.
Yeah, I like to throw my big numbers around.
Amerigo, can you see his cap?
Not anymore.
Ah,
But let's see if I can do something nice. Because I like you guys so much, I will speed up the process.
nice.
Well, acting as if it's altruistic 2.5 hours into a Caps game, hastening the outcome.
Like I view it as like practice for the GM tourney.
Are we doing Caps on any of these settings? I should probably know this stuff. Are you playing Frail? No, you didn't. You didn't have time, right?
No.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Can't pull it off right now. Sorry, Pete, I gotta hit you here.
Yep.
Can you hit me somewhere? I'm running out of places.
Uh-huh. Everybody needs Pete.
Uh-oh.
What do you do for your health and your fitness, Amerigo? Do you work out? Do you exercise? Do you do sport?
I think I indulge my curiosity. So, like I like when it comes to fitness to have like a challenge, like doing 100 push-ups in a row or something like that. I get focused on, and then
Sure.
like last year I crossed the Alps by bicycle. But I don't have a routine, like an ongoing one. Like right now, I'm sure something similar exists in Canada and the US. Is you can like pay a service where you can use like 80% of the gyms in the city. So in Berlin, it's like 1,000 gyms participate, and you can do like whatever you're into any day of the week.
Sure.
So I can try basically how different sports are depending on the location and people who participate, like as most big cities. Uh, different areas have very different setup of people, and how they approach fitness is fascinating to watch for me, and as well trying stuff that I've never done, like dancing or like sound healing yoga or whatever. So that's how I
Ooh,
keep it.
that sounds like a good one. Sound healing. Did it work?
Yeah, like I only tried it yesterday for the first time, and I haven't felt that relaxed in a long time.
Make me hit a 3.
Sorry, it was necessary for that fortify.
Mm-hmm.
I was racing against the clock to get all that out.
Fine. Just don't say I never did nothing for you. Yeah, we just have like a big chain of gyms. So as long as they're not shuttered due to ridiculous COVID restrictions, I could go to a bunch of gyms in the city. But I think actually I'm going to go tonight because I was waiting. I would have gone in the daytime, but I was waiting to do the show with you, and I was really excited. I will admit to being very excited to do this show because I think you're a super interesting guy.
Okay, there can't be much left on RJ's cap. I have hit so many of his troops, and he now has 1,600 sitting out.
Like he's not getting any cards, right?
I think not. Yeah, I didn't get a card that turn. Sorry, Pete, you're going to have to hit a 3 again.
Gonna have to hit a 3.
I think he's trying to take me down with him.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Three troops at a time. He's taking me down.
So why
So listen, why did we decide that I needed to die next?
Because you hit all the territories and it was easier to block you.
Yeah, it definitely was. But
You pissed everybody off, dude.
Should we see how broken the rolls are?
Oh yeah.
Oh. I mean, that's reasonable. It's the cap hit that I don't like.
Which cap hit was it? When he took your original cap?
Yeah, and he took 800, losing 600.
Yeah, that seems unreasonable.
Yep. I probably got something relatively good against Olive too, but of course you don't notice those things when they benefit you.
Right. You don't, or at least you don't have the nerve to complain about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see it. Yeah, see, those didn't work at all. more.
You had that 3,600. God damn. So you lost 1,000 there.
Oh, that didn't work. I fucked up. Oops.
Incredible that you had 1,000.
Hurt someone's feelings?
No. You still have 2,000. Another 2,000? Are you fucking kidding?
Are you fucking kidding me?
America has like a 2,000 something up there. I thought the 3,000 was your big stack there. Jesus. Did you leave any on the cap?
Oh,
You had
what?
to.
Oh, what cap?
No, I'm good. Oh, the top right.
Of course.
I'm just gonna jump in there.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, it's yours, right? It's where you started, so.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm so not surprised that I fucked this up either.
Put 200 there, huh? Go.
I might just be too slow. Let's see.
Nah.
Oh,
Just
gosh.
gotta believe in yourself, man.
Ooh.
Believed in that.
So, Pete wins.
No, I don't win. Definitely get you, though.
You get me, and then you get Frail. But, you traded in on that? Yeah, you did.
GG, RJ. It was fun.
Yeah, it was time to
2
just end
hours.
this.
I'll play at 5:22, so we did it at 5:30. Yeah. Yeah, 2.5 hours. Nice.
What's going on?
That's how long the game was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 2:44 currently on the show.
I'm not gonna hit my 14 cap, Amerigo.
No.
Well, it's a lot stronger now.
14 cap. Surely you're bluffing.
I think it might be a 30 now.
Surely you're bluffing.
Yeah, no, it was 14 before, and then Amerigo passed it. Didn't want to mess. You maybe didn't see it.
No, I saw it.
No, I meant Pete didn't see it.
Like, I was wondering, since we're testing this settings for EM with the VC, and we don't have much experience in it, how the old Pete man would react if things are not going his way.
But they went my way.
Good game, guys.
GG.
I think I'm gonna sign off.
All right, take care, Frail. Get some sleep, buddy. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, have fun with the GM tourney.
Cheers, bro.
Hope there's lots of collusion. See you guys.
You mean that in the nicest way possible. Did you want to see things not go my way? You want to see me get angry, Amerigo? Is that what you like?
It would be fun if then Frail and I would agree on, you know,
Of course.
attacking you, and then, you know, see.
Watch me turn into a little baby.
So, let's see. I have 4,000 troops. You have around 6,000, right?
You want me to tell you?
Yeah, like I saw what you have.
I have 5,100. I don't know. I don't know what to do in this situation. Like, do I just keep most of my troops on cap, or I think the theory is I have to try and card block you.
That or just make him hit unnecessary stacks.
I never really get to this place in a caps game, so I don't know. I don't know what the theory to do is. But is it the classy thing to do is to let the guest win on his own show, right?
I don't know if I won on mine.
Well, maybe I'm not classy.
I don't know what I won. I don't remember though. Alright, well, see you later. Thanks for letting me play.
Yeah, man. Be well. Alright, so what the fuck do I do here?
I think with 1,500 troops less, it will be tough, but I will give you some.
Can you give me a fight?
Yeah, I won't give you a free win.
Right on, buddy. I don't want you to. But like I do admit I don't actually know what I'm doing here, so
Are you trying the fake humble thing?
no, honestly, I don't play a lot of caps. So I look at this situation and I go, I should win, right? But I don't know what to do right now in order to win. And you have no incentive to tell me because you're also trying to win. So you want to see if I can figure it out on my own.
I mean, you played quite a few tournaments, right?
I don't know, man. I feel like I'm beneath the threshold of understanding for caps, though. So, like, usually what gets me to an end game is other people making mistakes, like this. Or other people just slamming into other people, but that doesn't win. That's not like a... You know what I mean? That just gets you second.
it should be unwinnable for me.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't know how to create that scenario. All right, I'm starting to figure it out. But only because I'm watching you. I like this. The conversation goes completely dead because we're both actually trying. It's very active, a Caps endgame, right? If you're reasonably balanced out. I don't know how many troops do you actually have, though. I can see it all. 3,300, something like that.
Very accurate, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Is this super fun for you?
Like,
Or is
yeah.
it is it terribly boring? I can't tell.
No, it's fun.
Okay. Good. Whoa! There goes a lot of troops. Oh, I see. So you try and card block me for even a turn. Huh. Okay.
Oh, there were what kind of rolls were that?
Lucky.
We lost 250 on 350.
Don't worry. As the troop counts drop, I betcha I make another mistake or two. Just a hunch. Frail just posted a picture of his baby dabbing.
Sweet.
Excellent. All right, so what do you think? 600 on 450?
I think you should match in to get it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You would, though.
I actually never played this type of taps endgame, so I'm actually curious how it will play out.
Okay. Me too. Me too, man.
If you keep getting rolls like that, it should be quick.
Right. Well, as I always say, it's better lucky than good.
Let's see if you get another lucky roll.
I don't know if I ever thanked you for teaching me Boston, but I really enjoy that map now. I went from a place with not understanding those settings to actually liking it a lot. I just wanted to make sure you knew I was grateful.
Yeah, like it's always fun to play with you.
Thanks, man. Back at you. I try. Look at you, make it so hard for me to get a card. That's pretty good.
Yeah, show me those rolls.
Well,
Or show me that you have a match.
57 v80. Do I have a match? Let's see. Nope. 57 v80. That's never going to happen. 0% chance.
And show me how quickly you can slow roll.
Still 0%. Okay.
Like on manualing, it would be 15% chance, so not that bad.
If I had time to punch through 80 troops manual. You know, it'd be cool if they took the dice animations off on that. That'd be great. You just like pop, 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 pop dice. I would love that.
Oops.
Yep. I tried to engineer a bit of a no-win scenario for you there.
I should have rolled you down to a 1 or like a 10 or a 20 or whatever.
Right. But didn't open.
Match would be very, very handy right now. Do you have now?
I'm sorry?
How many troops do you have?
4,000.
All right. Let's roll.
Was it
Probably
really lucky as well?
Yeah, I mean 1.7 is expected, and you lost 1.2.
So I've been getting pretty good rolls.
And the one before you lost equal, like, and especially when it comes to with 10-20, there's a lot of like 10-20 on cap. There's a lot of variance.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like 500, it should be close to 1.7 and not 1.0 or 1.2. But part of the game.
Yeah, so now you just split and stop me from getting cards, right? So what do I do here?
It should be impossible.
Why? Well, you'll block me this turn, right?
Unless you have a match.
Yeah, unless I have a match.
Like, cards are worth 200, so you can get 50 per turn, or right now you get 70 per turn. And you can get that. If I get 200, right, I would catch up at some point. But you have 3 times my troops, so I can never protect my stack for long enough.
Right.
Like, if it would be close, I could expand territory by territory, like that was the plan. But you lost too few troops.
Am I doing this okay? Other than the luck? Like, is there something that I'm missing?
I mean, with the amount of troops you have, you shouldn't be allow me to card block you for a single turn. Like, I see where I will go.
Yeah, I agree that I shouldn't allow you, but I don't know how.
No, I made a mistake.
Yeah, because there's a cap there.
And I should have attacked differently, but...
Ooh, okay.
You can try the cap row.
Yeah, I think I shall. Look at those dice.
All right.
GG, man.
Yeah, GG.
All right. Well, thank you for doing the show. I really do appreciate it. I hope it was fun for you.
Yeah, it was fun. And like time flew by. I think we did almost 4 hours.
3 hours, 20 minutes. I don't know if there's anything left to say. You know, there's always a question or two that comes up after the show, but I'll definitely ask it because you are a available person to me, and I'm grateful for your time. Thank you so much for doing the show. Thank you all for watching. If you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Come along the ride with me. I have a daily release schedule on YouTube. I do a fixed game every Friday, and I do this show, the Waiting on Your Best Behavior podcast, on Wednesdays. And until next time, for all of you on the path to world domination, good games and good luck.